Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, and welcome to the Masterpiece Lounge. I am your hostess, Chrisnatha Derosier. I'm a certified life coach, author, and speaker. And as always, I am back with another segment. So, welcome, everyone. If it's your first time, welcome to the Masterpiece Lounge. This is a safe space where we have conversations and dialogue about any and everything, so that it can provide tools to propel you even further along in your personal and professional life. And if you are a regular, welcome back. Let me know down in the chat where you're tuning in from, and don't be shy, say hello. So, welcome everyone. Hello. Hello. So good to have you guys back. We meet right here in the Masterpiece Lounge every week, same time, same place. So here we are. And thank you guys. Hello, hello. We got some love down in the chat. Hello, everyone. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. South Carolina is in the building. Hello, hello. Great to have you. Hello, I am doing amazing. So thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so we are here and we are ready. We are ready to chat. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And so, as you've already seen in the title, we're going to be talking about leadership styles. What is your leadership style? Oh, we got Jackson, Mississippi in the building. What is your leadership style? And also, this can help you recognize other people's leadership style. I started a deep dive into kind of reading about this, and there are assessments and quizzes you can take online about your leadership style, just to discover more about how you lead. So I thought that was really cool. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to look that up online. There's assessments and quizzes and all kind of cool tools to assist you in discovering more about your leadership style. But I just wanted to touch on 5. There are quite a few leadership styles. And so we only have time to talk about 5 today. So we're going to just discuss 5. We're going to talk about the pros, the cons of that particular leadership style, and then you can determine where you fall in. And like I said, after today's segment, you can always go and check out and take the assessments and the quizzes that are offered online as well, because I think that'll be really cool. It's always cool to discover something new about yourself. And so that's what we're going to be discussing today. So with that being said, we're just going to jump right into today's topic. So what is your leadership style? So I'm going to touch on 5 leadership styles today. Like I stated already, there are a lot more than this list that I'll be sharing, but I wanted just to discuss these 5. And the 5 that I'll be discussing is authoritarian leadership, participative leadership, delegative leadership, transactional leadership, and transformational leadership. So like I said, there's a lot more, but that's what we're going to be talking about today. All right. Okay. And then we'll also discuss how you can use them. The first one, number 1, is authoritarian leadership. Authoritarian leadership style, it allows a leader to impose their expectations and define outcomes. A one-person show can turn out to be successful in situations like this, and in situations where a leader is the most knowledgeable in the team. So that person is, they're authoritative. They call the shots, basically. So this is an efficient strategy in time constraint periods. When something's really tight in terms of a deadline, sometimes you have to use this particular style. This is what we're doing. This is where we're trying to go. And this needs to take place by this time, right? But the caveat here is that creativity can be sacrificed because there's not enough room to be creative here. So that's something to consider. And then your team or the people involved, the people that you are a leader to, doesn't have the chance to really put in their thoughts and ideas into what's taking place. So the authoritarian leadership style is used when team members need clear guidelines. That's why it's important to be very clear about what the objective is, what's the plan, where we are, where we're trying to go, and what we need to do to get there. So some advantages about the authoritarian leadership style is that there's time spent on making crucial decisions that can be reduced. All right. And also the chain of command is clearly emphasized. Um, the mistakes that you make during like the planning, that can be reduced as well. And it creates consistent results. It does. But the disadvantages of the authoritarian leadership style is that it's a very strict leadership style, really super strict. And that can lead to rebellion, if I'm honest, whether that's a rebellion from your team members or your employees, or rebellion from your children if you're a parent, right? You're like, this is what we're doing, my way or the highway. You can use that style, but there's going to be some rebellion in there that's going to take place as a result. It does kill employee creativity and innovation. It can do the same thing with like your family, with your children. It can like kind of kill that morale, like, man, we can't put in our 2 cents, right? It reduces group synergy and collaboration. The group input is reduced dramatically, and it increases turnover rate. So if you are a leader in the workplace, this can increase turnover rate, because a lot of people do not like to be micromanaged and just that strict authoritarian leadership style. So that's something to consider if this style sounds like you. So I do want you to take that into account as well. If this sounds like you want to be mindful of the advantages and disadvantages of this style. Okay. So now we're going to go to number 2. The second leadership style that we're discussing today is participative leadership. Participative leadership styles are rooted in a democratic theory. All right. So it's a democracy. All right. So who likes democracy? I do. But yes, it's a democratic leadership style. The essence is to involve the team members in the decision-making process. So everyone has a say. So everyone doesn't feel like they don't have a choice. Everyone gets to put in their thoughts and ideas and gets to express themselves. Team members feel included. They feel engaged and motivated to contribute, which is a positive thing. The leader will normally have the last word in the decision-making processes. However, if there are disagreements within a group, it can be time-consuming to process and to reach a consensus. So, but you want to make sure people feel like they have an input, I think that that's important. So some advantages of this particular type of leadership style is it increases employee motivation and job satisfaction in the workplace, and also in the home, right? In the home or amongst your circle of influence, it also increases motivation as well. Where everyone feels included and everybody's feelings matter. That's important in any leadership or a relationship that you have. It encourages the use of employee creativity. A participative leadership style helps in the creation of a strong team, right? That is important, because let's be honest, as a leader, you don't know everything. So having people that have different strengths and areas where they're stronger or know more than you do, you all collectively can come together and create an amazing outcome and result. So there's a high level of productivity that can be achieved. Now, there's some disadvantages as well. The decision-making process can become time-consuming because there's so many thoughts and opinions being shared. All right, so that is a disadvantage in a way. Leaders have a high probability of being apologetic because, there's feelings, there's thoughts being shared. Some people may be sensitive or things like that. So that's important to consider. Communication failures can sometimes happen because everyone is sharing. Poor decisions can be made if the employees are unskilled. So you want to make sure that people are operating in their strengths. All right. So number 3 is the delegative leadership. Number 3. This is also known as the, let's see, The laissez-faire leadership. And what does that mean? It focuses on delegating initiative to team members. So you're basically like, it's a little bit more relaxed. Yeah, I would say it's a little bit more relaxed. This can be a successful strategy, though, if team members are competent, if they're able to do the job and take responsibility and prefer engaging in individual work. Okay, so some people are self starters. They don't always have to do group work. They can do just as well by themselves, which is a great thing. And some people work differently, right? And so that's okay too. So disagreements among members can split and divide a group. So we're hoping that doesn't happen. And it can lead to poor motivation and low morale, especially when people are always working alone. So you want to make sure there's a good balance that, yes, you can be a self-starter, but also we're coming together, we're collectively participating. And as you can see, we can kind of mix these different styles together. You don't have to use one leadership style at a time, all of the time, right? You can have a mix of one or two or even more than that. But you just want to make sure that there's balance more than anything. So an advantage is experienced team members can take advantage of their competence and experience. Once again, like we said, there's some self-starters on the team, which is great. And innovation creativity is highly valued here, and it creates a positive work environment. Now, some disadvantages is that it commands responsibility, um, but it has to be properly defined. You have to be super, super clear about the objective and the goals, okay? And also, this type of leadership style creates difficulty in adapting to change because you're used to doing things a specific way. All right, number 4 is transactional leadership. Transactional leadership, all right? All right. All right, so transactional leadership. So let's jump into it. Transactional leadership, number 4. Basically, it's transactions between a leader and his or her followers. And what that means, it's like there's rewards and other exchanges to get the job done. There's incentives. I know you guys love incentives to get the job done. The leader sets clear goals, and team members know how they'll be rewarded for their compliance. Okay, so this give and take leadership style is more concerned with following established routines and procedures in an efficient manner than with making any transformational changes to an organization. So some advantages here. We're just going to go through that really quickly. Leaders create specific and measurable and time-bound goals that are achievable for employees. I actually like this style, to be honest. It creates and it provides employee motivation and productivity, and that increases. You can see the increase there. It creates a system that's easy to implement for leaders and easy to follow by employees. And employees can also choose reward systems. And you can even apply this to the household. If you are a parent, once again, you can also use this type of style with your children, transactional. Some people may feel like, children shouldn't be rewarded, right, for either good behavior or progress in any aspect or area of their life. Some people feel differently about that. But if you do believe that it's okay to kind of reward them for good behavior, good grades, or whatever the case may be, then this is something you can adapt as well. Now, some disadvantages could be the innovation creativity is minimized. Empathy is not so valued here. So that's something to consider as a disadvantage. And it does create more followers than leaders, especially among team members. So that is something to consider if you want to apply this leadership style. And lastly, number 5 is transformational leadership. So this is the last type of leadership that we're going to be discussing on this segment. And in transformational leadership styles, the leader inspires his or her followers or team members with a vision and then encourages and empowers them to achieve it. So the leader also serves as a role model for the vision, right? And so some advantages for using the transformational leadership style is that it leads to a lower employee turnover rate. right? It also places high value on the vision. And I think it's so important when you don't personalize things sometimes and say, but what's the vision? Are we moving toward the vision and the mission of our organization, of our family, right? Of our ministry, of this relationship, right? So it's so important to keep in mind. There's a and high morale that's often experienced. It uses motivation and inspiration to gain the support of employees, team members, family, friends, and everyone else involved. Um, and also, it places high value on relationships. So that's really awesome. Some disadvantages of transformational leadership is that leaders can deceive employees. You can deceive employees and team members. Consistent motivation and constant feedback may be required. So if you don't have the bandwidth to offer that and to keep that going, that may be a challenge for you. Tasks can't be pushed through without the agreement of employees. So you want to make sure that you keep that in mind, that everyone's voice matters, right? Because people need to feel empowered. That's the main objective here. And also, sometimes it can lead to protocols, regulations not necessarily being followed sometimes. So that's just a disadvantage, something to keep in mind, or possible challenge in the future. So those are the that's the 5 leadership styles that we wanted to touch on today, but there's so many more. Once again, we talked about authoritarian leadership, participative leadership, delegative leadership, transactional leadership, and transformational leadership. However, there's so many more. And so please don't limit yourself. You can go online, take the assessments, take the quizzes that are offered there for you so that you can tap into more and get a better understanding of your leadership style. So I hope that you can take something from today's segment and apply it, or maybe it even provided an aha moment where a light bulb went off and you had a better, clear understanding of the leadership style that you mostly use. All right, guys. And so, like always, if we are not already connected, then what are you waiting for? Let's get connected, right? On social media platforms such as Instagram and Facebook. And also, hop on over to YouTube and follow me at Chrisnatha TV. All right, let's do that as well. And I'll have some great content there for you as well. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to visit me at my online home, www.iaaminstitute.com, where you can join our free mailing list and stay updated with all the incredible things that we have going on. And also, there's a free ebook there as a gift just for you. So head on over there, grab it. It is my gift to you. And I will be here, same time, same place next week. And don't be selfish. Invite a friend and share this with a friend as well. So, guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in, hanging out with me today. And I'll be here next week. All right. So let's get connected. Let's stay connected. And I look forward to seeing you guys really, really soon. And until then, be well. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right, guys, take care.